Good morning. I'm Andrew, and I don't want to work anymore. We're trading the Nasdaq today. It is Monday, May 5th. Happy Cinco de Mayo. We're going to get into the charts here. We're going to go over some levels, wait for some people to show up here. It is early here on the West Coast. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Hassan is in the house. Welcome, sir. Good to have you. Who else we got coming in? Says I don't have any viewers, but I see Hassan is in the chat, so let's look at some levels. Okay, let's see if I can get this guy orange. Okay, so this is our new day opening gap. 20,206 is Friday's closing price, and then above us we have an old fair value gap on the 4-hour from here that we're looking at. This is obviously the high that we're trying to get above, and if we can get above this, yeah, I like the silver bullet. It doesn't happen every day, so you have to practice it in the back testing, right, and see if you can see it happen. Let's look at an example of a silver bullet. What is this? This is Friday's. Yeah, this is Friday's price action. So we'll go to electronic trading hours. It happens in the mornings. You go to the 1-hour candle. Come on. Look for the 9 a.m. candle. That's this guy. Mark out the high. Mark out the low. Right? I could move this guy over a little bit. I think something like that. Okay. Then we can go back to our 1-minute chart. So this is the low. Where's our high? Anyway. 9 a.m. I don't know why that line's gone. Unless it's up here somewhere. What else we got? We got Ken. Hello, Ken. Thanks for coming in. We're trying to look at a silver bullet here for Hassan in your back testing. Does this happen that if 1 week is not good, so next will be? We have all kinds of numbers on the spreadsheet with good weeks and bad weeks. Let's see here. Here's a bad week. The next week was also bad. This 1 week was a minus. Oh, sorry. Hold on. That's a positive week. Barely. But that's a positive week. Oh, this is way back in January. Okay, well, we don't got time to mess around with this right now. But I didn't get a whole lot of time to work on the spreadsheet. But it is in the description box if you guys want to download it, play with it. And then you'll find your answers in there. Okay, opening price, here we go. We'll mark it out. In pink. And for my bias, I think we're going to have a bullish day today. But that's it, just today. I think we're going down for the rest of the week. We have a large new day opening gap above us. This is Friday's closing price. So we have 200 points to the upside. We'll probably go at least 100. So we got these highs here. What's our Asia and London highs? So we took out London low already. We're going to be going up for London high at 20,098. $20,098. Oh, I have that already marked out. Okay. That's up here. Okay. We'll chop around for a little bit. But I'm thinking we're going to come down first, fill in this fair value gap on the 4 hour, and then go up and test out the high here. This really old high. Before everything dropped off. Where was that? That was back in March. March 25th. So I don't think we're going to break this high. I think red for resistance. I think we'll make like a double top with it, and then we're going lower again. And I don't know if we're going to break these lows, but that's kind of what I think the week is going to look like. Let's put a weekly chart on real quick. Raghav's in the house too. Good morning, my friend. How are you this evening in Nepal? We do have to come down to this weekly low here. I'm gonna make that guy white. That's gonna be a draw this week for sure. I didn't get a whole lot of back testing done. Yesterday I went fishing, and then we had a big hockey game last night. Oh, and I didn't have power. They took away all the power off the block here, so I had no electricity all day yesterday. So I got back testing up until February. So, but for the month of January 2024, I have positive 380 points. You had a loss of 80 points. Yeah, what are the... I don't want to get into it right now while we're waiting for our first FVG here, but... Oh, you did it in FX replay. Yeah, I don't know. I do it the way... I do it manually with TradingView. And so we'll have to go through an example later, but you know, I trade it. I do the entries as if I was, you know, actually trading. So what FX replay does, I have no idea, right? There's like a little bit of discernment you got to do, I guess. As soon as you exit out, right, I'm getting back in. So like say I got stopped out. You know, let's say I got stopped out on this candle right here. You know, I would be entering right away basically on that candle because it's created a fair value gap. Is FX replay waiting for this FVG after, right? So it's just, you would have to go back and see, I don't know. I would go back and see, does it show you the entries? You know what? Sometimes I do look, if I was in a trade and we consolidated for a really long time and we were coming to the end of the New York session at 11 o'clock, if we were in a consolidation, I would close it out at 0. I would do that. So that would be one of the things that FX replay would probably do, is just leave it go all the way until it had a loss. But if I saw that I was consolidating towards the end of New York, I would close it out at break even or as close as I could. So I know you asked me that before, but I didn't think about it at the time. So that's one of the things you can look at. There are several days where it just goes sideways. So no FEGs on the way up, and we are 40 points up off of the opening price. Yeah. That's why I paid extra for the trading view. Yeah, I'm looking at this 5-minute FVG, and like I said, I am bullish for today. And we did sweep London lows already. Just not on the New York session, but Hassan, I don't have a real account just yet. I'm still forward testing this strategy, and I want more back testing data too. Raghav is bullish too. Yeah. So I know we're probably supposed to trade this FVG here if we do get one. And I think I might, but I will exit once we get down into this area. I am going to play with this. $52. But you know what? I know we're supposed to trade the strategy a certain way, but I'm bullish for today, and I think I will wait for a retest in here. Actually, how many points do we got? It's only 60 points down here. It's not worth the risk, I don't think. I'll wait. We are going to mark out this first FVG. Yeah, I really think we're just going to come down for a little bit of a sweep in here. Drop back down into this fair value gap, maybe even close it off, and then go up for the rest of the day. And I have more time to trade today. I'm not going to work. I kind of banged up my knee last night, so we swept this little low here. There's a little fair value gap there. Still like to see us come a little bit lower, but if we get a bullish FVG here, $19,775. $19,775, eh? Man, that's a crazy big candle. Well, it looks big. I'm getting ready to go long. Yeah, I'm bullish for today. That's why I didn't take the trade. Getting ready to go long. 10 seconds. Oof. Okay. While I was fishing. Yeah, I hurt my... No, I didn't hurt my knee while I was fishing. I was working on my boat on Saturday, and I kind of like swung my leg over to get over top of this rail, and yeah, I banged my knee on the rail pretty hard. Kind of like, you know, when you hit your funny bone, but like when you hit your funny bone on your knee, it's even worse than the elbow. But I got this limp now, so So we got a big stop loss on the first position here. That's only 54 points. It looks big. Yeah, fishing was good. Maybe I can share to my computer. I gotta. Let's see if I got any photos. I'll play a short video. I did catch. We caught a lot of fish yesterday. I kept one. It doesn't look like. Oh, it's coming. We'll see if they're in the downloads here. No. Doesn't look like it worked. Oh, yeah. You like hiking, hey? I guess you guys got lots of big mountains there. We used to do a lot of that a couple years ago when we lived in Alberta. There's lots of, you got the Rocky Mountains there. Lots of grizzly bears too. Shift to Kashmir. What is that? In Pakistan. Are you moving there? Is that a place? Oh, okay, gotcha. A hometown. Okay. Who's ready to take another long? Maybe not. Tilicho Lake. 4,900 meters. That sounds pretty high. Yeah, I'd have to do the conversion. I don't know how high I've been. Man, a lot of long wicks in here. I'm not liking this. This is not good for price action. I've seen also in the back testing, when you see a lot of long wicks like this, undecisive price action, it's not a good idea to jump in. So if we go for another position higher, I'm going to make sure that the stop loss is fully above my first position. I'm going to be patient today. Like I said, I'm not going to work. We got a little bit extra time that we can be patient with our setups. $16,000 Is there news? Are we waiting for news today? May 5th. No crazy news. Nothing to worry about. It's the red stuff that I care about. PMI. Meh. I think we're okay. Yeah, I wonder if we'll still find support here on this 5-minute gap, even though we have a candle that ran through it. Since you joined me, we've been losing. Yeah, maybe. My count was higher. You know, my dad was giving me a hard time the other day. He says, I'm looking at your account balance and it's going down. I said, well, yeah. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So, Raghav took a long, got a pretty nice entry, I would say, if you got in down here. But if you want a 80% win rate, you know, then you got to trade the 2022 model, right? But it doesn't happen every day, so you have to be really patient. Right? You wouldn't have the 2022 model didn't work here. You opened up and you just went up. Over here, you swept the low. And then you could have gone up, but again, it came back down. You would have got stopped out. But if you tried again, you would have got in, applied the strategy, it would have been good. What about here? You know, you'd have to sweep really old low. What do we got here? Swept Asia's highs and lows, and then consolidated for a long time before dropping off. So it doesn't work all the time. Even the 2022 model. But for the first time since I've been trading for 16 months, this is the first time my account has been up, and especially by this amount. No, for sure. This is the first time I've been positive for a month. Yeah, it's not consistent, but that's why we're here to test the numbers and forward test it before we put any real money to work. That's what I'm doing anyway. We got a choppy Monday here. This might be one of those consolidating ranged mornings again, where maybe we still do have to come down lower first, since we're just consolidating. It's been half an hour. I'm gonna try to get out at break even and wait for a sweep of these lows before we go higher. There. I'm out. I'm waiting for a sweep lower. Yeah, you're right, Raghav. That's why you're right. It is mechanical. It makes you way more disciplined. Uh, you're targeting at least London high before reversal. Let's see here. Let's go back to the data. International trade in goods services, petroleum status, FOMC announcement, Fed chair stuff. Okay, so I think we could be bullish up until maybe these news reports come out, jobless claims, and then we drop down. All I know, this week we got to get up in here, which is still 500 points to work with before we go down. And that's why I like a mechanical structure. Because then you thought you had a good trade idea, and then you close it just in time for it to take off. This could just be the manipulation too, though. Let's see here. We're getting close to that 7 o'clock. Let's see what a 1 hour chart will look like. Yeah, maybe we are ready to go up. I'm out at the moment, yeah. I kind of wish I was still in it. I'll wait for a retracement here. It looks bullish. I'll see if we can get back to the first presented fair value gap or even here to get in for a long again. The news is gonna give me an entry. Yeah, let's see. Well, there's the London high. Look at that gap up on the hourly. That's crazy. happen if I put a long here? Break even for the day. You're still long. Oh, you moved your stop up to break even. I gotcha. Yeah, I hope you do too. I feel like I missed my opportunity. I'm actually considering a short still. I'm looking at this as like a consolidation, manipulation, and if we get a fair value gap here and a close on this guy, I will go short to go back down here to sweep this low. And if not, then I will get a better entry to go long for the rest of the day, I guess. Yeah, lots of time here. Okay. I think I'm getting my wish. There's my work phone going off. Here come all the emails. I'll have to tell them I'm not coming in today. Come on. I wanted to come up there. I wanted a better entry than that. Anyway, I'm going short. Sorry, guys. I'm being greedy. Should have closed at London High. Yeah. Quite possible. So, Hassan, this would be your 2022 model. We just swept London High and could be going lower now for the rest of the day, or at least back to first presented fair value gap, or even if better, we can get down to this fair value gap. So Johnny's in. Possible Venom forming for a short. Ooh. Yeah, Venom would be dope. I've seen that model. I think I even caught it once, not even knowing what it was. No, sorry. He mentioned it and it happened like a couple days after. About a month ago. It was pretty cool. Ah, this is the entry that I wanted. It's okay. It's okay. Johnny, how are you today? Bissies and Sibbies, that's it. Love them both. Yeah, today's choppy. I like to get more patience and wait for retests. I just found a lot in the models, like when it wants to really go down, it doesn't, it gives you those breakaway gaps. How big is my stop anyway? 48 points. I feel like doubling up here. What's the PA? The price action. He doesn't like the price action. Daily chart looked bearish. Yeah, I'm looking for a double top. I'm looking to make a double top here. So I'm kind of bullish short term. And then dumping off for the rest of the week. But right now, I want to get down here. Daily chart looked bearish since we had SMT with NQ and ES on daily. I've got to learn how to look at forward chart on NQ. Yeah, you got it, sir. I totally think we're bearish. I think we're gonna mess around with this high up here, or at least this fair value gap again. If anything, move up into this guy and then go down, but definitely not bullish for the week either. Yep. The morning high stopped at 50% of the 4-hour SIBI. Yeah, it sure did. Where is our 4-hour? We got this guy. And then we have this small one in here too. So many confluences for a short today. I know you can make a story up for anything. You can still argue we're still bullish. But over the next hour, I'm bearish. Yeah, I think it's time to, let's go, just drop. Let's get out of here. What does our 15-minute chart look like? Lots of long wicks. Not pretty. Hassan, I think this week is bearish. I think we're going down in price. We'll go up first, and then we're going to come down. That's what I think is going to happen this week. I don't like when I see super long wicks like this. Well, Hassan, to be honest with you, my strategy, I've been forward testing it for a month. And so far, it's in profit. So, but, you know, if I traded it exactly how I was supposed to this morning, we would have had 2 losses already through here. This would have been a loss, and then going back up, we would have lost. So, what I'm finding is, because in the back testing, I don't have it on electronic trading hours. I have it on regular trading hours. So I don't see what the previous price action is compared to what we have, right? But when you put electronic hours in, then you kind of get some context. You're like, well, you know, it told me to go short here, but it's like, well, we still haven't, you know, swept these lows over here. So, you know, it's a fully mechanical structure strategy, and I don't have the experience yet to tell you. All I know is that if you can get into a trend and you can add more positions, you're going to do pretty good. You're going to be pretty happy with the results. And so, you know, I'm just a guy that came up with a strategy, and I'm forward testing it. I didn't say this is the #1 strategy of all time. I still have lots of back testing to do. You know, the wins and losses on the back testing, you know, you see it up there. It's profitable, but as I said once before, and I'll say it again, I don't think this is good for prop firms. If you have your own capital, so far it looks like it's profitable. But with the prop firm rules, they're just out to get you. You really got to know your price action. Yeah, like Johnny said. if you use the strategy with like a higher context framework and narrative, you probably do way better than just having a mechanical. You do, just the way that I've back tested it. You're going to lose a lot. It says right there, it's only 56% win-loss ratio. And the win-loss ratio is only 56% because of all the second and third positions you put on once you get into a run. So let's actually go. Let's go look at the spreadsheet here. We're going to highlight, even just on the first positions here, we got on the column A wins. How many got? Count 82 wins versus 79 losses. So it's not so great. It's 50-50. Yeah. You're right, Johnny. It sets you up for those big trending days, and you can really capitalize on them. Other than that, I think it just cuts you up. But you never know when the trend day is coming, right? That's the problem. But if you trade every day, like it's going to be a trend day. But with experience, maybe we'll be able to figure out when those days are. I'm definitely not a good enough trader to figure out when they are and when they're not. So that's why I wanted something mechanical. And I'm wondering if we're going to survive this. ICT says use these large wicks like gaps. We've gone above the 50% mark. Am I going to be safe? I don't feel safe up here. Yeah. Where is that FEG like that? I'm still bearish. Even if I do get stopped out, I'm still bearish for the next little bit here. We've just taken out this high here. Did we take out this far one? What is this candle? The high is 20,111.25. No, we did not take out this far guy here. Yeah, looking good though now. what I've been learning with the strategy is there's no easy way to trading. I think that's just plain and simple. You have to know price action. And if you're trying to cheat your way and not learn the price action, you're just doomed, I think. Or you're going to be just break even. I don't know. I'll have to backtest this strategy some more. I just didn't have the time this week to fill in all the numbers, but we'll see. Once I have a year and a half's worth of data, because I'm backtesting now from January 2024. So I'm super interested to see what happens to fill in that data from January 2024 to October 2024. And then we'll have everything from there on out, and we'll see. If you just trade the strategy and you'd be totally lazy about price action and trade that, it's a slow Monday, just really taking its time. I do have an appointment at 35 minutes. I gotta go for sure. So if this thing doesn't break lower soon, I gotta go see my physiotherapist. He got me into trading. He likes to trade gold and oil. He was saying something about Wednesdays. Oil does the exact same thing every day at 10 a.m. basically. I haven't looked at it close enough to see what he's talking about, but I'm gonna move my stop here. Even this 15-minute candle's got such a huge gap on it. Or wick, sorry. So slow today. What do you think? Quite possible to have like an inside range day. We don't even get to the high. Friday's high is there. I think we'll even get up there. Doesn't look like it. Although we don't have a wick on the top yet. This chart drives me nuts. I don't even think we have a wick on top of today's candle. Yeah, we're a rare breed to find people in person. I did meet another guy actually on Friday that um, he traded, I think he traded XRP or Bitcoin, one or the other. Um, but he was kind of like he was a trend trader. He used indicators, but then he got out of it. He hasn't traded in a couple years. I told him to get back into it. Another big 5-minute consolidation here. Another big long wick on the 15-minute. We're only 2 minutes away from closing that 15-minute candle. It's almost like we're gonna trade up halfway up into this wick before we can go lower. I own a little bit of XRP, just like $300 worth. I keep thinking about selling it, but it's so little that I don't care. Actually, I do own MSTY. I'll write it in the chat, actually. No, I won't. I'll pull it up here. So MicroStrategy. I used to own MicroStrategy, which is they just buy Bitcoin, and then so their share price does very well. But then I also have MSTY, which is an options based income play off of MSTR. So this stock actually pays me every 4 weeks. And the yield, I would basically say it's 100% yield. So whatever the share price is, divide that by 12, and that's what you're going to get paid for the month. So every 4 weeks, just divide that price by 12, and that's how much you get paid per share. So I got quite a bit of that. I used to have almost 700 shares. It was 670 shares. And then I sold it all at the beginning of April. And then I bought more of it. I bought some back. Not as much as I used to own. I think I only have like 150 shares now. I don't do ETFs. I find every time I buy an ETF, it just doesn't move fast enough, so I sell it. Let's see what else I got. Palantir. I own Palantir. I have lots of Baba. I love Alibaba. This is a great stock. I believe Alibaba is going to be the next Nvidia, or everyone's going to be talking about Alibaba. That's what I say. if you can guys get your hands on that, it's gonna do very well. Actually, Cooper Standard, this one on Friday just took off like crazy. Where is it? I just added it here. CPS, where did it go? I think I might be ready to add another position here. I think it might be time. No, I want to sell. We're shorting. Short goes there. I think we're finally moving. Okay, second position on today. Let's go. Targeting these lows down here. I don't know if I'm gonna add another position on after this. I think I might just keep it at 2. Where's my... Oh, here we go. I think I'm just going to trail my stops up for every fair value gap from here on down. It's not that far. It's not that many points. So we're just protecting our positions as we go down. It's down to 15-minute on the 5. There's really no fair value gaps here. Uh-oh. I do have this 5-minute fair value gap here. Yeah, that's safe. If we come back up there, looks like we will. Probably close that up or leave it open and keep going. Yeah, that's not a bad move. I gotta make a note for these slower days. I think it totally pays to wait to get into these inefficiencies. There really is no rush. Did we just take this low? I don't think so. The low on this one is 20,008. No, we have not swept this guy yet. 19,970. Did I not draw a line here? Trading View or CMC Markets. Yeah, that's it. That's it for today, guys. Yeah, I was going down there. Somewhere around there. That's where I wanted to exit out. But that's it. I gotta get ready. Go see my physiotherapist. You guys have a good day. We'll reconvene tomorrow morning. You guys have a good one. Right, how do I end this thing? Okay, bye guys.